the Brown boys, the Brown boys, the Brown boys, we the Brown boys, the Brown boys, we the Brown boys. I don't know how Vince Ellison is on YouTube and not flagged down for harassment and bullying, but I need his team because I get flagged down for less. But yeah, maybe I need to do videos. Hopefully I don't get flagged for this one. Y'all watch this. This is wild.
She can't win.
I just sincerely kept asking, please do not back me into a corner. Please do not back me into the corner. I'm not a co-signer of crazy. You can do all of that and be all of that all you want. But when you try to force it on me and make it my reality, now we have a problem. I don't understand how Christian, Bible go together in Democratic Party.
You talking about mind control? Vote for the D. Vote for the D. Vote for the D. D good or bad. What do they stand for? Don't matter. D good or bad. Nancy Pelosi said that she has so much control over the black community. He said in these minority communities that they would vote for a glass of water if there's a D on it.
To a test. But those are districts that are solidly Democratic. This glass of water would win with a D next to its name in those districts. And not
Joe Biden said if you don't vote for him, you ain't black.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black, and you ain't black, and you ain't black, and you ain't black.
Your identity is tied up with the D. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And you want to tell me this ain't a cult? I'll tell you right now that I don't care what your party is. I'd have voted for Karen Whitsett tomorrow if she was running. I'd vote for Bill Ross in Brownsville, my hometown. I know Bill well. I'd vote for Bill Ross tomorrow. He's a Democrat. Yeah. I don't care if you think somebody gonna tell me what to do. Republican, if you vote for a Democrat, I'm saying, hell, man, if he's more conservative than the daggone Republican is, of course I'm going to vote for him. I don't care if you like it or not. Get out of my face. Tell me what to do. But no, this is and Yuri made some very interesting statements about how the KGB and the Soviet Union has controlled black people. You can hear it. You can see it here.
Where reality is right in front of you, and somehow everyone is acting like it's not, has become the new normal. And I want to talk about that with you. Like, what is that? Does the truth actually matter to us anymore? That question led me to deep dive into someone we've mentioned before.
And the answer is no. Don't nobody care about the truth no more. The truth can slap you right in the face. You can show a person the truth. But if they already believe in the lie, if they like the person who said it, then they're not going to care nothing about no truth. They just going to throw out something. You crying. Oh, you worried about what I'm saying. Oh, you do. It's all propaganda talk. It ain't no straight talk no more. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody that oppose you, that will have a real conversation with you without trying to push a narrative. That's all they do. They push narratives nowadays. Some good talking mother truckers.
Or on other episodes. Yuri Bezmenov. Now, I know that there's a lot of people watching who have already seen his interviews several times, but I want to take a minute to deep dive into his perspective because I think he brings a lot of insight into that question. So Yuri was a communist defector from Russia who gave lectures in the United States about something most people had never heard of at the time, something he called ideological subversion.
It's a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process, which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages.
These 4 stages include demoralization, the erosion of truth and meaning, destabilization, the fracturing of systems, crisis, the breaking point, and normalization, the acceptance of a new order.
The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already for the last 25 years. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes his balls, then he will understand, but not.
Yeah, so they say you understand. The only thing you understand is a kick in that you know what. Yeah, that's what they determined. The only thing you understand is a kick up the rear end. That's crazy. You done convoluted the truth so much that no one cares about it. All they care, before they realize that it's too late, they would have to get kicked up the you know what before they believe it. That's absolutely crazy.
And when you hear that, you have to go all the way back to Martin Luther King Jr. because that's what they did. The whole civil rights movement was a psyops. It wasn't hard to get black people back on the plantation. But, you know, like I said, Karen Winsett has paid the price for it. This lady down in Georgia, her name was Misha Maynor. She was a black Democrat, female, who could no longer support the Democratic Party because they were against school choice, school vouchers. She said, I'm leaving. She lost her seat. Vernon Jones down in Georgia, same thing. Vernon said, can't sup with you no more. You guys have just left the reservation. Y'all crazy.
So they want your mind. If you agree with anything that they're not aligned with, you done. School choice is good. Oh, fuck that. You and Trump. Just stupid stuff. Hey, man, I like school choice. Here's why. Barack Obama, Ice Cube, myself, other people who have went to other schools and got a better education, it's worked out well for you. It's worked out well for us. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Kwame, go to bed. It's too early for this. I'm not even gonna respond to that shit. But anyway, this is what you get. This is what you get. You got to get a kick up the ass.
You guys have just left the reservation. Y'all crazy. Vernon lost his seat. They will punish you if you do not toe the line. That is a cult. When you no longer care what they stand for, when you no longer care what they do, when they have the ability to hurt you and cause you pain, when they isolate you, like they have black people in the ghettos and the schools and the HBCUs, like they did at Morehouse. At one time, the premier black male college in the nation, and now they are putting sodomites and gay men and gay preachers, putting portraits of them up in the chapel. You see what they're using the HBCUs for now, right? Yeah, you shouldn't send your child to an HBCU now because they are just pig pens for the Democratic Party, for these liberals, and for the LGBTQ. If you want grandchildren, you better not send your boy to one of these HBCUs. I tell you that, because when he comes,
I was like, I know for sure he gonna get canceled for this, but I'm like, yo, how in the Jesus is he saying all this? But hey, I'm here for the entertainment.
when he comes home, he gonna be looking at no girl. He's gonna look at another boy. That's a damn shame. So they're gonna indoctrinate your son. You know they're gonna indoctrinate your son to be an ankle grabber, and you're gonna send him anyway. If I had one, he wouldn't go. So the Democratic Party, let's put a barbed wire fence around the black community. They got you back on the plantation. Instead of picking cotton, now you're picking votes. And they told you better not leave and you better not say nothing. And it's a shame. I watch it all the time. I hear people walk up to me and tell me, you know what, I agree with everything you say, but I just can't say nothing about it. Because if I say something about it, I'll get in trouble at my job, so I got to be quiet. I said, man, you're a coward. I talked to them cats on Wall Street. I was up at the White House. They all got money. They want.
What I told you, company policy. When I first got online, company policy got the world shook. You're not living free no more. You can't say nothing because they already got it embedded in your mind. Yeah, it's a free country, but you got to accept the consequences that come with it. There's no consequence that come with being able to speak freely. If I tell my kid, hey, you can say what you want, I'm not going to get mad at them when they say, hey, Dad, I don't like that your feet stink. If they say something that's not so favorable to me, but I gave them the ability to talk, there's no punishment for it. Otherwise, I shouldn't have gave them the ability to talk. See, y'all done fell for the bouffalet. If you have a freedom to speak, then there's no punishment for that speech, if that's all you did. How you getting punished for talking if it's okay for you to talk? Please make it make sense. Let's just go ahead and amend that. You're going to get punished if we don't like what you say. Even though you completely doing nothing wrong, you're doing your God-given right to talk, we're going to punish you because we like to have one thought, one man, one band, one sound. And if you go outside of that one band, one sound, you will be punished. You will conform. So that's why they have all these company policies and all these different things. Some of it is good, but they've learned to sneak in a lot of this BS. A lot of people own companies that if you say, I like Donald Trump, you had a 4-work state, you're fired. Or at-will state, or however you say it, you're fired. They don't got to give you a reason. They don't like your political views. You are fired.
Me. Yeah, what you said about Martin Luther King Jr. is all true, man. All that stuff true. So why don't y'all say something about it, man? Well, I think you guys are capitalists. Y'all holding up a socialist and a Marxist as one of our standard bearers. And you're telling black people to listen to his message. And because they're listening to his message, they're staying in the ghettos, public schools, welfare, handouts, the crumb that fall from the white man's table. Not telling them to go out there, best service, best product, best price, always wins. It's time to jettison this stupidity and get out of this death cult. Hell, the black community is dying in real time. And while everybody else is jumping ship and getting away from these crazy jokers, the black caucuses and the Iron Triangle, most black preachers, most black politicians, most black civil rights workers are telling black people stay on it. One of the most amazing things I ever saw in my life. So I'm here doing this podcast because, again, I'm trying to help the ICE Democrats understand what's going on here. Who are the ICE Democrats? Not the good ICE who's locking up these illegals and kicking them out the country. It's bad ICE. The ignorant and crazy and the evil. Like I said, 80% ignorant, 10% crazy, 10% evil. You can't have the evil ones. They're the ones that are running the show. They're the Chuck Schumers, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Jim Clybers of the world. The evil, not going to change, okay? The crazy ones can't help them either. All you need with the crazy joker, set him in the corner, give him something to eat, give him something to play with, hope he don't cause no trouble. Then you got the ignorant ones. They can be helped. That's about 80%. And the ignorant ones can listen, but a lot of the ignorant ones don't want to hear anything. They're suffering from cognitive dissonance. Anything that changes their mind causes them pain. They will resist it at all costs. They will attack you if you attempt to separate them from their oppressor. So you got to be careful with an ignorant sucker now. You walk up to him and tell him the truth, he might just jump on you. Like if a man beating the hell out of his wife and you come and start whipping him, she jump on you and beat you up, they both jump beat out you together. Yeah, that's them. That's most black Democrats. But there is a remnant. So the first pushback you see from them, just give me some coaching here. When you start talking to one, When you start seeing violent resistance, pull back. You might just get shot. Oh, hell, you ain't gonna talk about it. It'd be like talking about Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam. You get killed behind that. Leave that alone.
This joker say whatever. Hey, I gotta start doing uploads so I can say whatever too. Something gotta be, because when you live, they see like the AI flag you. But if they let you through, I guess you get through. So yeah, I gotta start doing some pre-recordings because, woo, goodness gracious, this joker sound like your granddaddy, man. I don't know how y'all uncles and people talk, but my uncles and my people talk like this before Trump. But then when Trump is around, they taught people to hate a person. But most black people are conservative. Most black people ain't with the BS. Like, I just don't get it. Most of the people I grew up with, they speak like this. But then now people go out publicly and say you crazy if you talk like this. Because, not because you're wrong, but because of the ramifications of what come with your words, which people are willingly accepting. Because all you got to do is don't accept it. Whatever company it is, whatever person it is, using their power to hurt someone who is just talking, that's who you don't support. They not with us. You don't hurt the people for exercising their First Amendment right. And any company, any person that does that, you shouldn't support them. It should be simple. Because it could be you next. You next up. You can't support the laying off and firing of people because you next up. That's how you control people. Anybody that's doing things like that to control people, that's who the op. It ain't no Trump is not a king. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. The people that's trying to take away your right to just be different or disagree or have your own opinion, they are the immediate right now op. Ain't no way. As much as I like to talk and say what I want to say, I argue with people all the time because they try to take away or invalidate a whole individual. Nigga, you're not going to invalidate what I'm saying. No, you're not going to invalidate what I'm saying. Or don't talk to me. I'm not going to Harvard, Yale, or this is that. I'm not even going to college to get no degree. I'm going off of my common sense and my wisdom because that still does exist. It still do exist. And a lot of people are moving with their education and not their common sense. See, there's a time where you use your education. And there's a time where you just go off of your common sense. Some of y'all are just too educated all the goddamn time. And in spots where you're supposed to use your common sense, you're trying to apply education. And it just don't make no sense. Common sense is a real thing. You got to work on it. I'm not saying take away from your education. We need a lot of educated people. But we also need people that rely on their common sense and that's connected to something. And a lot of you guys, a lot of you people aren't. Soon as you get your degree, y'all don't do nothing. I don't see no educated people in the hood like that. Y'all get the hell on because y'all know what come with the hood. I don't see educated people coming back to educate. I see educated people mostly coming back to tell you how much better they are than you and how dumb you are. Yeah, that's why I say in real life, though, if you live a real life, then you actually know who help your community grow. It's the mentors, it's the coaches, it's the people that's there on the grassroots. It's the volunteers. It's the people that's right there. It's the police that's helping people not blow each other behind off. The good ones. It's the women out there that's still doing the right thing and telling them little girls, hey, quit acting like that. It's people that's doing and living the right way. It ain't you fake ass street